Alright, so a quick update video, what's going on YouTube, other people watching, permanent parties, cohorts, collaborators, etc. at all. So, as you've all known my situation for the better half of the past 5 years, well, 3 but 5 years in its entirety. You've all known the living arrangements, you've all known the situation with my workers' compensation claim, and all that entails. You've known the social security aspect of my life. You all know also extensively the history that we share, some of you. You also know my property situation, you know my housing arrangements, and you also know the much of what I have delved into on this channel. So today, I'm not really one of those fanatics that would use like crowd control technology like Facebook. However, here I am as a hypocrite using that technology. I went on live stream yesterday. What prompted me to go on live stream was the situation with the property things. Basically, to not bore some of you who been watching and have kept track of the things up to this point in time. It all started because of the application that I submitted to well, who am I kidding? Me and my family. So we live on the second floor / attic. And when we applied for benefits, we were turned down, and what prompted this situation was that my parents' citizenship status was being questioned, and my own as well. So when we were at the field office at the Humboldt Park area, I was like at first, yo, what the fuck, dude? Like, are you seriously telling me this shit? Like, you see the ID, you see the passport, and my parents don't always carry that shit with them because, hell, you have our file. We've been applying here ever since we used to live at in Humboldt Park, basically, ever since we used to live in the ghetto. So you've all known us for years, right? So for you to tell us that you were questioning who we were, but yet where we're living and you know the situation with the identities of the others, it was a very pressing situation. So that prompted that whole video that you guys all saw yesterday. For those of you that have not added me on Facebook, you all know exactly what I'm talking about. So once I made that video, keeping in mind that I do with the substantiated basis of everything that I have delved into, have studied, have researched, and have had help with a large portion of the community. When I say community, I do not mean my near vicinity area, although some of these people up around Merrimack Park and other parts of the city, yeah, they've been extensively helpful. They've been very helpful. So what ended up happening today was a gaslighting / green lighting situation where somebody was just, a random person was passing by on our property. Well, it was a public place, but when he set foot on our property, pavement, whatever, you know, the square mileage situation, property laws, General Assembly, look it up. Anyways, so this guy's like, he has a nerve to tell me about some situations, and then he starts delving into like, oh, the neighbors next door, and I was like, that really got me pissed off because back in the day, so this was last summer, neighbors had an outing outside, so I was in the garage making music, listening to music, and the neighbors were outside at the same exact time. Anyway, so they had family over. They were playing basketball. They didn't even ask to use our court. They just took it. They were playing, whatever. Typically, that's what it is like. They just take whatever the fuck. Except once, I was in the garage, and so we have surveillance equipment there too. So they kept hitting our garage door purposely. Nobody can be that bad at a sport. So they kept hitting our garage door purposely multiple times. And when I went outside as the, asset / son to the property owner, when I brought it up to my father, he was pissed. And he was going to take action against the neighbors. But that day, he was at work. So I had to bring it up to the other person that lives downstairs, which is my uncle. And he was basically, he saw the damage and he's like, yeah, that wasn't there before, but that other part, wow, like, yeah, that's crazy. So they didn't do all the damage, but they did do much of the damage that was there on the gutters in the garage. So to not rant and go off on tangents, so this random guy, right, as I'm making a live stream talking about the current state of affairs within my situation, as well as in the USA, just strolling on by through the neighborhood. I've never seen the guy once, walking his dog. Then he comes back, right? So after he leaves, so before he dipped off, I asked him, what do you think about the whole situation with minorities? And then he's all like, ah, ha, 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 whatever. So he leaves, and he's like, well, I'll come back to debate. Focal point. Keep that point of reference. So he comes back, basically only to tell me about that situation, which he had no reference point, didn't even have any of the fucking evidence, and then he starts telling me about the minority situation and tells me that it's a joke, basically, to paraphrase his sentiment. And then, furthermore, he then starts talking about our property affairs, and he's not even paying rent. Who is this guy? So then he basically ends with a fuck you, which I was very respectful to the guy, and I was being genuine, but the guy didn't even get it. I guess he was one of those pessimists or those people that gaslight, greenlight, whatever, because he seemed to know a lot of shit, and he's talking about last year dated information. So very much in the same way that, I don't know, these private investigators probably do it. It was the weirdest situation ever. So when that happened, the people that were watching my live stream, I was kind of distracted, but they were watching it as well. And so I guess they paid attention. They were like, "Wow, what the fuck?" So it's really this area, this city, and there's so many issues with it. At the same time, while I'm helping my parents and while I'm trying to apply for benefits and looking for a job and all this shit, you have these fucking people that just think that they can speak on matters that they're not even involved in just because they're in the community. Well, in the same way that those people within this community also helped me, uh, I guess in this guy is open to criticize but not really fucking get involved in matters that do not pertain or are in any way, shape, or form involving him. And if anybody has a problem with that, then hell, it seems like that would be a personal problem because last time I checked, none of you people within this area are paying rent, none of you people are on the lease, and none of you people are actually any fucking thing that are helping or even contributing in a positive way. And I'm talking about the people within this area. So yeah, that was very aggravating, and I found that very odd that that happened. Anyways, by this point, I'm used to it. All of you already know everything that's been ongoing for the past few years, currently ongoing, and really it has been a situation that has evolved tremendously overall. And what sucks is that currently what's going on with the whole world, it seems like this just gives people an incentive to keep on doing this type of shit. So my live stream for the better half of like the hour that I was out there live streaming, it was centering on psychological operations, hypnotic operations, militant doctrine, DoD master plan, and all that shit, and political parties and affiliations within the United States of America, as well as organizational structures, militant structures, what have you. I really delved into everything. And by now, none of this is new to you people because you all have seen my presentations, you all know what I do. And yeah, there's really a lot of people that are not going to be fanatics or fans of these things that I do, but that's entirely fine. I mean, you don't have to be. But what really pissed me off was the fact that literally every single time that something like this goes on, it literally is always a from the DoD master plan and the psychological operation playbook, it really is a deflection of sorts when I'm talking to the opposition. It's a deflective, divisive tactic that's employed in the use and used in the way in which most of these people use it. So to cause a division, to cause a distortion within said subject matter, and basically to just attract attention and make it something else, which leads to a distortion within the said subject matter. I'm not a big fan of that because that's basically a page out of the psychological operations playbook. And yeah, I mean, the guy looked like he was militant, so I don't know. I don't know. He might be. He might not be. I've never seen him in this area personally, but really, I really want to get your opinions. Like, what do you people do when literally you have a situation that's a family situation, a property situation, and so much more. So I have the Social Security thing that's pending. I have the workers' compensation claim that's also pending. Coincidentally, they've been pending for years. It took these people 1 year to attempt to get my benefits reinstated, and that's still going. So all you people that have helped me, all you people that have been whether in the country or outside of the country, thank you, and I really appreciate it. I really, really fucking appreciate it because honestly, this is how minorities get treated within this country. and it sucks, but that's the truth. You're not gonna hear nothing that's censored. I'm not gonna give you the fake truth. This is in its full entirety how it is, and I will be doing these live streams more. You know, I usually like to have a topic in reference. I like to have subject matter. I like to have bullet points. I like to have my notes so that I can make a concise video. However, some of the times we don't make concise videos, or we don't have time for that. We just jump straight into things, and hell, that's what I did with the live stream, because all this shit, the investigations and all that, it's been years. Same for everything like workman's comp. So for Social Security and everything. So everything that is going on within the constructs of this city and everything at large is really governed by the international, national, and local sectors of security and all that shit. So the data collection game is way different than it was years ago. So that just further illustrates the point that everything is always being recorded, logged, and paid attention to. So what I don't understand is how, if that is the case, how exactly are people questioning the authenticity of our citizenship? How are they questioning the medical records and files that they have in possession? How are they unable to reach an agreement? How are they unable to understand the Illinois statutes and laws that are within this country? And how are they unable to fathom anything beyond their own political spheres and paradigms? It's crazy, it's stupid, and it really doesn't make any sense. But yeah, just a quick update video. Any contributions help. However, most of the contributions that you've all given me haven't been monetary, and they've been more so aid in terms of how to go forth. So I appreciate that. Can't do it without the community, and as always, I return the favors if needed. You all know where to reach me at. And yeah, just a quick update video. Anthony Voltaire, and a great weekend. Enjoy. Peace.